Hello, everybody. Welcome to It Was Tuesday with your host, James Chen, and I am really low. There we go. That's a little better. Okay, there you go. All right, raised my seat a little bit. I am better in focus. Hello, everybody. Welcome back. Welcome back. It's been a few weeks since It Was Tuesday due to Evo 2023 taking place, of course. And lots to talk about. This is my first time. This is my post Evo wrap up kind of show that I wanted to talk that we used to do every year that I'm doing today now. So let's go ahead and get started and just start talking all about Evo 2023. And yeah, this is going to be a long episode. I might not get through the whole thing. I might have to save some of the topics for next week, but we'll see how it goes over here. So Pistol Pete saying I make everybody jealous with that hair. Why, thank you. Decided not to get it cut at all for Evo this year. I was thinking about trimming it a little bit, but then I was like, you know what? Just gonna do it. Just gonna go ahead and let it rock. So let's talk about Evo 2023. So, you know, it's really interesting because as a person who works the event, as a commentator of the event, it's really hard to get the proper scope of the event because we're actually stuck behind the curtains most of the time. So in case you guys don't know where the big screens are, we're actually commentating behind the big screens in the back. And so I spend most of my time behind the curtains and everything, and I really don't have any opportunities to go check out all of the, you know, top eights and stuff that's happening. I only had a passing glance at the joystick museum, for example. I barely got to check out any of the booths. I went through the artist alley, found Wave Chen, so that was great. I always have to find Irene at every event. And then I couldn't even find the 86th booth. I wanted to go there and say hi to the 86th guys because they've been supporting me for so long. So sorry guys, I will find you next time, hopefully. But it's pretty crazy. So I'm not talking about the top 8 Psychodamo. I'm talking about the commentary during pools and such. We're all just behind the curtains and everything like that. So for me, the reason why I bring this up, for me, a lot of times it's hard for me to really get a pulse on the actual event itself. I did get a chance to watch a lot of the Monday panels that were at the start. I'm sorry, not Monday panels, the Friday panels at the start. Clearly, there was a lot of cool things announced there, which we'll get to in a little bit if I have the time. But for those of you guys who were there, like, did you feel like this was one of the best Evos? I mean, from talking to a lot of people, their opinions were that, you know, this was probably maybe the best Evo ever. I mean, the arcade was pop. I mean, I walked through that arcade and I was shocked that it was just a legit arcade. I thought it was going to be mostly fighting games, but it had everything there. Through the Artist Alley was ginormous. I ran into Nutacon at Artist Alley over there, as well as like Super Moose. I did see Dubudomo there as well. Yeah, they had a Project L station at the arcade. It was like a hidden place that you could go play Project L with less lines. And I mean, honestly, from what I had heard from everybody who had had a chance to check it out and hang out and do all the stuff, everyone said it was the best Evo ever. Now, it's kind of deceiving talking to people at the event, because when we did the standard, how many people here, this is your first time at Evo on Sunday, dude, I swear over half the stadium raised their hands. It was wild. And in fact, everybody that I kept meeting on the floor, everybody who came up to say hi to me. Again, thank you for taking the time to say hi to me on the floor. And if you ever see me and you're scared to talk to me, please don't. Please come up and talk to me. But everybody, so many people I talked to said that this was their first Evo. And that's absolutely insane. So again, I mean, I had a little message on on youtube.com/UltraChenTV afterwards. I know a lot of people want to give a lot of credit to Street Fighter 6, and it absolutely deserves it. Street Fighter 6 brought in a whole new slew of people. But again, this is a turning point in the fighting game community, in my opinion. And, we can't just rely on Street Fighter 6 alone. While Street Fighter 6 is definitely the catalyst for this kind of crazy growth that we've had this year, the FGC doesn't survive. The fighting game community doesn't survive without the smaller games, without, Mortal Kombat 1 and Tekken 8 coming out and hyping things all the time. So... so Prowler PX says in the chat, hey James, how do you see that normal esports events and leagues are having troubles to stay afloat, but FGC events are going up? I don't personally have a pulse on too much of the regular esports, but that was a comment that I saw from Fish Sticks, who has been a long-time FGC head, who has been in he worked for Twitch. He was one of the people who helped get Twitch to where it is. He's one of the earliest esports believers who fought for esports so much, and he said that himself. He's like, I'm at Evo, and while many other esports are struggling right now, the FGC is continuing to grow. They got this big non-endemic sponsor in Chipotle, which is what I've been saying all along. I don't know why fast food joints haven't sponsored Evo sooner. It's the perfect blend. It's the perfect sponsor for us. I mean, come on. And even during the Evo Sunday, even though people were ironically cheering for the Chipotle ads, that's engagement. And how many of us actually went and ate Chipotle after Evo? I did. Right? I mean, that's just the thing, right? It was so cool, and it's still very grassroots, and I think that's the main thing about the FGC. We have always been grassroots. But I didn't get any free burritos, man. I never got a free card anywhere. I went there and actually just bought it myself. So you got a burrito bowl at Chipotle the day after Evo. See, this is what I mean, man. This is why I keep saying, like, honestly, the fast food is the right way to go for Evo. But again, it was such a huge event. We broke record numbers and everything. So I think, yeah, Arby's, dude. Arby's. They sponsored Capcom Cup one year. But again, this was crazy, and yeah, it seems like the FGC continues to grow, and it's because we are grassroots, right? The power of the FGC that I have always said is that nobody can take Evo away from us. Nobody can take Evo away from us. Even if the developer stops working on the game, Marvel vs. Capcom 3, if people still play it, we'll still play it at Evo, right? That's the thing. So, and then we don't have venture capitalists, right? Evo is not run by venture capitalists. Evo is run by itself. It's a self-sustaining event, which obviously a lot of people were frustrated by because of obviously there's a lot of ads, and people were very upset by that and such. And I get it. It's something to address for sure. A lot of people talking about how Evo had so many ads during the, so many breaks, etc., etc. But again, we are producing a 40 to 50 hour, actually, that's not even fair to say 40 to 50. Let's say 40 to 50 times like 7, well, 20, I would say 20 times 7 times 8 for the first 2 days, plus another like 12 hours on Sunday. We are providing hundreds of hours of free content to everybody out there to consume. And I mean, some people were in the chat are saying the ad percentage was actually down, surprisingly. I mean, Chipotle might be a factor of that. But I mean, look, it's not cheap to bring you this kind of event. And ads are, unfortunately, unfortunately a part of that. But that's how everything works, right? Ads are what allow you to be able to consume free content. Now, the cycle that we're hoping for here is that the more eyes get on Evo, we get bigger sponsors, and the bigger sponsors means we get less ads, right? Obviously, we'll have more things like check out the Chipotle replay cam, the Burrito Bowl replay cam, and these kind of things will probably crop up a little bit more, but those are the lesser evil at this point, right? So, and again, I don't even want to call the ads evil because they're literally what allows an event like this to run. And so a lot of people in the chat actually do saying, yeah, I have a few people saying that the ad breaks were fewer overall compared to the line was the badge line was also a problem. And trust me, that's something that they are completely aware of. We have never seen the Evo line go all the way back to the casino before in our lives. That long walk past the food court, past the black hat registration line, past the food court, past the restaurants over there, all the way to the casino, that has never, ever happened before. And so trust me, this is something that they realize and will probably be handled. Yeah, for badge pickup. It was absolutely insane. It has never been like that before, and I think people are going to look at that, and I'm sure we're going to do something to change it because, again, this is the pattern of Evo, right? Every year, there's always a big thing to tackle. If a lot of people are saying the ads were down this year, I think that was probably one of them because I know the previous Evo, a lot of people are saying the ads were super aggressive. Yeah, mail the badges is definitely something that is to be considered. It is obviously, pricier to do that. It costs more. Which is probably why they do badge pickup, but it's probably something that they really got to look at, honestly. And yeah, so Gundam Jehudi Kai in the chat said, I'd like to see the finals return to top 8. We ran fast this year. Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom 3 ended early. Tekken 8 ended a little late, but Strive actually caught up and ended early. And so Street Fighter 6 started on time and ended on time. Last year, we got spooked because if you remember, Evo ran till, what was it? It ran to 1:30 or something like that. It was ridiculous, dude. It was 1 a.m. Okay, it was 1 a.m. it ended. And dude, staying late at a venue, it costs a pretty penny. Let me tell you, it costs a pretty penny. So, as a result, now that they have a better idea of the timing, and especially the fact that, Street Fighter 6 is a faster game than Street Fighter 5, despite having everything go to final game, final round, perhaps they'll go back to top 8. Again, this is all just evolution, no pun intended, of trying to provide the best content ever. I'm sure they'll look at it. So I'd be happy to determine if a game has top 8 or top 6 on a game-by-game basis. See, that's not... yeah, I guess you could, depending on if the game was longer or something like that. So, Tekken maybe will stick to top 6, because Tekken, like I said, ran a little bit longer. But like I said, we did catch up eventually anyway. So, oh yeah, what's up, Casey Fusions? Good running into you in the lobby area of the casino. But, again... we'll see how it goes. I don't remember if the events ran long on Saturday. Jalen said that Melty Blood actually ran well and actually ran on time. So we'll see. We'll see. Yeah. And honestly, going through 7,000 people for Street Fighter 6 and finishing on time is a feat that is unprecedented right there. I just I don't even have any words to say for that, except, okay, actually, the one thing I will say is shout outs to all the judges, to all the TOs, to all the production, everybody making it through that and running that like crazy. Shout outs to the main TOs, such as Andres, aka Nothing Excess, Rachel, Reina, who is one of the most unsung heroes of the FGC, honestly. It was ridiculous. Like, I can't believe how crazy it was. And again, you know, talking about the whole thing of like what we were talking about earlier, that other esports are struggling. I don't know. Like I said, that I'm only repeating that from what other people say. So if that's not true, feel free to correct me in the chat or even in the YouTube comments. But the fact that Evo is growing every year, yeah, to Sway, Manny, Ham, Tom Winkley, everybody. And yeah, see, Jalen says it in the chat. Reina is godlike. She has worked combo breakers, frosty fausting, CEOs, Evo. She's done so much work, and none of y'all know about Reina, okay? And she is the GOAT. She is absolutely the GOAT. But Evo growing to record numbers. I think it was, we had over 11,000 competitors. The city of Las Vegas showed up to Final Sunday to give a special reward to freaking Evo, dude. They showed up and gave the key to the city to Tom and Tony Cannon for running Evo at Vegas for so long. And then they officially named August, what was it, August 3rd? What day was Sunday? August 6th. August 6th, 2023 was officially deemed Evo Day. Oh my God. It was so crazy, dude. Like, I can't believe that happened. After that happened, everyone I saw and I gave a hug to, I was like, Happy Evo Day. Happy Evo Day. After everyone I hugged, dude. Like, that was so crazy. Oh, God, the Grand Blue announcement. Yeah, we'll get there in a little bit, unfortunately. But we'll talk about that later. But honestly, like, the fact that Vegas is acknowledging us like this, and like, seriously, because and again, I mean, people know this, right? Obviously, I was very good friends with Wizard in the past. I worked with him very closely on trying to get a lot of Evo stuff done before. You know, talking to him about Evo a lot of the times, you know, he would often mention how the city of Vegas really loved Evo. I mean, people don't know. See, they think like running Evo is just like, oh, we just run Evo. But like, literally, the city of Las Vegas, like the network hub of the city, has to do all these things to make sure they provide backups in case the net goes down and all. Like, they do so much stuff for Evo. Like, the city of Vegas is so hyper aware of Evo existing that and they have to do so much to make sure that the tournament actually runs well. And right, the summer is the off season in Vegas. That's something a lot of people don't realize, is because it's so goddamn hot in Vegas that very few people actually go to Vegas in the summer. So, oh yeah, Wake Up Super. Black Hat runs next to Evo every single year. In fact, I feel like Black Hat waits to see when Evo gets announced and intentionally schedules their event on that same weekend. Because it's happened like 4 years in a row, 5 years in a row. So Yeah, we'll see if they move back to July next year, because they did announce Evo was going to July next year. They announced the date of Evo Japan as well, and they did announce that there was going to be a third Evo now. So it's going to be pretty crazy. So we'll find out what that's going to be. They didn't say where it's going to be, the third Evo, but we'll find out, I guess, hopefully soon enough. So probably hacked internal Evo communications. I mean, that's the hope. Mars. God damn it, Kumatori. I read Mars and I said Mars out loud. No, I meant to say Europe. I meant to say Europe, most likely, not Mars. Jesus, thanks, Kuma. Yeah, there's I don't know, Evo Middle East, perhaps. We'll see what happens. So again, just so much craziness this year. Like, and then, okay, the other thing that I really need to talk about, I haven't even gotten into the games yet. I'm sorry, I want to talk about the games, but the craziest thing. So I got to the stadium at about 10:30 in the morning. Marvel had already been running about half an hour. And I went to go find some seats. I figured it was 10:30 in the morning. It'll be easy to find some seats. Nope. The arena was packed. The arena was full. We could barely find any seats. We found some seats on the side, and being my old ass self, keeping my head craned to the side to watch the big stage was hurting my neck. So I figured, okay, as soon as UMVC3 is done, a whole bunch of people are going to exit the stadium, and we could just move to a little bit better seats towards the front. Didn't happen. It didn't happen. UMVC3 finished and nobody went anywhere. No seats opened up. And in fact, the only seats that opened up were seats being saved by their friends so that the friends could go and buy food to bring back to the person saving the seats. And this carried throughout the entire day. I have never seen this happen at Evo. I have never, ever, ever seen this at Evo. If it's Evo UK, I will be so happy. I would love an Evo UK. That would also be a great reward to everybody in the UK doing such great work, like Logan Sama, like Jammers, like you guys probably don't know him, but Rich and Mark, who run VK Platform, I think it is. I forget. My name is really bad. My name memory is really bad, but it would be really, really cool if we did the UK, honestly. It would be such a great way to reward a lot of the UK guys for doing such amazing work. Paris would be more centralized for sure. France has been a common location for big FGC events, so Paris would be a great place as well. But yeah, nobody left the stadium. That stadium was packed from 10 in the morning till we finished Street Fighter 6. And in fact, when I was going into the stadium at 10:30, Tempest Rob, one of our many esteemed photographers at Evo who just kill it at Evo. Tempest Rob told me that the people who got the very front row seats were there at 6:45 in the morning. Remember, doors opened up at about 9:45 or something like that to let you in. They were there at 6:45 in the morning to get those front row seats. It was absolute. That's just I'm blown away. Blown away. Yeah, Scalpers was definitely a problem. That's something that's going to have to be fixed at some point in time as well. I'm sure they'll be looking into that to see how they can prevent that from happening again this year. But still, it was, dude, I have never seen the audience like that. And it's so crazy, too, because everybody that I ran into on the floor on Friday and Saturday, talk to them, and then I would eventually ask them if they had Sunday tickets. And a lot of them did. I was really surprised that a lot of them did have the Sunday tickets. Obviously, there's some people who didn't. But those that did have the Sunday tickets, I literally looked at them and I was like, I don't want to oversell Sunday finals, but it's going to change your life. But it's going to change your life. And they were like, oh, shoot, really? And I was like, look, you can barely talk about fighting games with other people, like in general. But when you're in a stadium with thousands of people, and they're all cheering for the same things you're cheering and gasping at the same things you're gasping at, it is a otherworldly experience. And the craziest thing about it was, after Sunday was over and on Monday, as I continued to run into more people at Evo, I kept asking them. I would be like, hey, so I tell people Sunday would change your life. Did Sunday change your life? And they were like, yes. And it was, and like, that's just the thing. It's like, you've never been able to experience something like that. I felt kind of the same thing the very first time I went to a GDQ event as well. You go to a Games Done Quick event, and you know, for the longest of time growing up, it's very different nowadays, obviously, but video games are a very niche thing. They're ridiculed by people. They're, you know, the whole like, oh, you live in your mother's basement, you play video games kind of stigma was something that we've had to live through for so long. At least I did, being as old as I am. When I was at GDQ, you would see everybody who loved video games together and being able to express the passion for their hobby. And it's just such a wonderful thing to be able to have. Again, this is not limited to video games. I'm sure if you're a huge speed cuber and you go to a speed cubing event, or if you're a huge, you know, skateboarder, right, and you go to an X Games, or I don't even know if X Games exists still, but like to a skateboarding event or anything like that, when you're around the people who share your passion with you, that is one of the greatest environments to be in. When you don't even have to explain to anybody anything, that you just walk up to them and be like, oh my God, did you see that match? Oh my God. And like, you know, having that bond is such a powerful thing to have. And when you get that at Evo, when you're actually there with just thousands of people, someone actually told me that they were scared to go to Evo because it was their first time and they were going by themselves. And they were like, I don't know what I'm going to do if I go by myself. And he said, thanks to my video on YouTube saying, just go, it's great, it's wonderful. He said, I did it, I went. And he told me that immediately he made like 3 friends in line for the badge. And he was like, I just made friends because we just started talking, and that's what happened. And like, that's the kind of thing that makes Evo special, right? Because you're there with the people who love the things that you love. And that's what makes it so wonderful to me. Yeah, Dubutomo says the reason why I know people at Evo is because I went to the Evo the year before. Oh man, that's just the way it works, right? And that's how it went. That's how it goes. And it's wonderful. Yeah, Super Moose went by himself, but again, yeah, him and Nutacon hung around because we all met the one year I had my Chenzor Dynasty gathering. I hope the mini Chenzor Dynasty gathering this year went well. Apologies that I couldn't make it. Obviously, I was very busy. But yeah, see, look, I went to Evo. Casey Fusion says I went by myself for my first Evo this year, and I made 3 contacts at the event. This is how it works, man. This is what makes it so great. This is so wonderful to be at an event like this if you're a fighting game fan. And again, shout outs to Rick and the TOs and everybody, and Mark, man, for also creating so many other things to do there as well. People got to try Naj for the first time. People got to play MK1. People got to play Project L. There was the Joystick Museum. There was the Artist Alley. And I love the fact that, you know, while Evo could easily find like, big corporate companies to sell cool stuff, the majority of the purchases at Evo are all in the artist alley. So there was one year we were running Evo. I was talking with Tom, Tony, and Chris Lee. The four of us were sitting there talking. This was way before Street Fighter 4. And we were just sitting there talking, and the idea was that like, oh, Evo is getting a little bit bigger. It's starting to become more like a convention, but no, Evo will always be tournament first. Always be tournament first. It will always be tournament first. And some dude walked up to us and was like, "Hey, I brought a lot of spending money to buy lots of cool stuff here at Evo. Do you guys have a merch booth?" And we were all like, and it just kind of it brought us to the realization that people want to buy shit at Evo. At Evo, they want to buy stuff at Evo, and the fact that Evo is doing that largely through Artist Alley, I think is great. And so, yeah, a lot of people are like, oh, Evo feels like a convention now. That is exactly what we need to do. That's exactly what it should be, because that's what people are spending their vacation time to come to Evo. And in the past, Evos were about the players. You played, you lost, you sat around, and there's a lot of people going to Evo now who aren't playing. They're just going there to watch and buy stuff, and it was just really, really cool, dude. So honestly, like, having it be a convention is the right thing to do. And like I said, I'm very proud of the fact that Evo continues to make it so that the artists are the ones that benefit the most from it. Every artist I always talk to, I've always been like, how are sales going today? And they're just like, oh my God, it's so amazing. Like, every artist who goes to Evo has said that Evo is consistently their best selling event of the year. Like, consistently. And that actually is one of the things that makes me even more proud that Evo can provide that to the artists out there. Yeah, maybe even better than Anime Expo. I don't know. That's, like I said, that's what they tell me. So I don't know. I mean, if you've been to Anime Expo, one of the biggest problems of Anime Expo, honestly, is that the artist area is so, it's so ginormous. Holy crap. Yeah, exactly. You can't even walk around Anime Expo. Some people are saying in the chat. So yeah, Anime Expo is way, way, way too big now. Anime Expo was a literal safety hazard this year. Yeah, see, there you go. I think that's one of the issues. So there is concern that Evo will get to that point. And I will say, the Artist Alley this year felt the most Anime Expo-ish, in which it was just like packed. Like, you were just in a river of people. Like, if you wanted to stop at a booth, you had to like jump out of the river, stand next to the booth, and then eventually jump back into the river. And you didn't have any choice of going which direction. You just went whichever way the river took you. So hopefully, the Anime Expo will space out a little bit more, give more people room to walk, etc., etc. But we'll see what happens. Right, Mandalay Bay has an expo hall expansion, so they could definitely add more people, more space if they wanted to. So, but these are all little things. Obviously, like I said, Evo will look at from year to year. But anyway, I've just been talking about Evo, and I haven't even gotten to the games yet, and I've been doing this for like half an hour already. So I apologize here. Because obviously there's a lot to say about the games, but overall, Evo was, I mean, people have asked me, a lot of times, did I ever think that Evo would get to this point, or how we would we get to this point of this size? And my honest answer was yes. I did believe Evo would get there. That's how much I believed in fighting games. But I tell everybody, I thought I would be dead already. I thought I would have died of old age already and been long gone by the time fighting games got there. Because I just never expected the growth to be this fast. The fact that I can be there, experience it, and literally be a part of it as it's happening is absolutely amazing. It's just, it is mind-blowing to me. The fact that you can scalp Evo tickets now, right? Like, think about that for a second. Think about that. James, don't die. We need you for Evo Mars. Fair, AJ. Fair, AJ. But yeah, like the fact that we have scalpers, think about that for a second. We have scalpers for Evo, which is in its own way a compliment and an indication of how big we've gotten. Oh, man. Dude, I haven't heard about the converters melting at all, Stanley Cup. I literally have not heard about that. Holy crap. I had no idea. And yeah, the other thing too was that a lot of people were saying Evo numbers seemed a little like not as big as previous years. But this year, remember, we have allowed for restreamers this year. I don't even like Maximilian's stream was probably almost as big as the Evo mainstream. Like throughout the entire weekend, dude. Maximilian was just he was like, dude, he was having numbers, dude. Oh, heat issues with the PS5. The top USB slot in the PS5s were a problem on the first day. Oh, Jesus, that's crazy. Dude, Maximilian had 50K viewers, 60K on Sunday. Dude, that's absolutely insane, dude. That's crazy. It's absolutely insane. So, but yeah, I mean, again, the growth of Evo is absolutely wild. And I mean, like I said, obviously, this is a special year with Street Fighter 6, but this is why, as much as I love Street Fighter 6 and I think Street Fighter 6 is fantastic, and I know Street Fighter 6 is like the main reason why Evo was so big this year, but even saying that, like, we shouldn't just rely on a single game to save or grow the FGC. Street Fighter as a franchise obviously has the best chance of doing that, because Mortal Kombat is the other franchise that has the ability to do that. Except it's gory as hell, and so you can't market it easily, right? So that's the issue. So Street Fighter is the game that has the ability to take the FGC to the Promised Lands. I mean, Promised Lands is not even like millions of dollars. It's just, hey, all of us can do this for a real, as an actual job. So, but the thing is, like, while Street Fighter is clearly the game that has the best chance of getting us and growing us, and Street Fighter 6 is definitely living up to the hype of the franchise, the FGC needs to make sure we continue to cultivate, to continue to grow and support the other games as well. And we have to continue to promote them as well. And I say this every time. If you watch my video that I posted up on my post Evo thoughts, look, now this time it's more important than ever that we really need to stop the squabbling and the bickering between all of the different scenes that we have in the fighting game community. This is the time to band together to really just say, like, you know what? Mortal Kombat is not for me, but you should play it and support it. Tekken is not for me, but you should play it and support it. Street Fighter is not for me. Melty Blood is not for me. Dragon Ball FighterZ, Guilty, but you should play it and support it. That is the message that we need to really, really get across this year in the FGC. I made the joke hashtag, you know, let's fight together. And that's really kind of where we are, honestly. if we can do this, if we can support stuff, even support stuff like UMVC3, right? Look, I don't care what anybody says, UMC4 was not going to be announced this year, right? But if it's ever going to be announced, we're going to do it by doing what we did this year, which is getting UMVC3 on the big screen and having Marvel go, what the hell? Wait, what? I mean, my brother told me he got an email from Marvel because he's part of all the Marvel newsletters and stuff that said, please go watch Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom 3 at Evo this year. Like, an official Marvel email got sent out to people telling him to go watch this over 10-year-old game at this point. And it was like, what the hell? That is crazy. And so, honestly, like, okay, everyone keeps talking about the Grand Blue announcement. I know. Look, coming on to announce Grand Blue stuff after Marvel 3 is brutal. But the thing is, they probably didn't have any other time to announce anything, and they wanted to announce something on Sunday. And since there was no announcement for Marvel, that's the perfect time slot. And oops. Oh, God, that's frustrating. So that's a tough one for the Grand Blue guys. But the groan, oh, man. Anyways. Let's, they could have given everybody a free car and everybody would have grown. We don't want a car, give us Marvel 4. Oh, man. But, I mean, like I said, the way that we're going to get the best chance to getting these kind of things is by promoting each other. By promoting each other. Honestly. Meow. What, Nathan? Here, come here, Nathan. Come here, Nathan. Come here. Oh, he's walking away. Okay, it's not that time. I'm sorry. Oh, wait a minute. Oh, I got you. It's that time again. It's Nathan snuggling time. Sorry, viewers at home, you cannot see the adorable cat. But you can definitely jump onto the youtube.com/UltraChenTV and find this moment on stream. And find this moment on the video and watch me cuddle the cutest cat in the world. Hi, Nathan. Alright, I'll let you go. It's always hard. I want to hug my cat so hard, but Burmese have had Burmese by nature have kind of more breathing issues than other cats, I think. And so if I hug him too tightly, I'll actually get him to start coughing, and it makes me feel horrible every time. Am I going to ECT this year? If somebody flies me out to ECT, I will be. If not, then no. Hi. Oh, okay. Yeah, sorry. I mean, I was kind of close by David after Street Fighter 6. Or are you talking about after Sunday's Street Fighter 6? Yeah, no, absolutely. Promote each other, even if it's Ultra Fight Decanta. Absolutely. Oh, absolutely. I mean, we had a bunch of indie fighting games as well over there announced at Evo. There was this great indie fighting game section that had all this cool new fighting games being developed by indie developers, and it was really neat. And honestly, hi Nathan. Oh, look at you being such a lovey-dovey guy. But honestly, I think that's so cool, dude. Does anybody want to hire me as a battle designer for a fighting game? Just asking. Just asking. Any case, it's a great time to be a fighting game fan. This is the time. This is the time for us to grow. And again, Street Fighter 6 is the catalyst of this. But God, Nathan, what are you doing? Nathan is knocking everything over. Oh my God. Nathan, you have no care for my desk. But honestly, this is the right time to do it. This is the right time to get into it. And again, we continue to grow despite any trends of the esports, despite everything that's going on, we live by our own timeline. The FGC lives by its own timeline. We do our thing. We've gotten it to the point where the devs can't help but pay attention to us, right? They are listening to us. We are all working together to make the best products ever. Street Fighter 6 came out because we all know what happened when Street Fighter 5 came out, you know? So it is really, really, it's an exciting time. It's an exciting time to be fighting game fans. So keep it up. Support each other, please. Please. And that's my message. Like I said, it was kind of a jokey hashtag, but there's a lot of truth to it. Hashtag let's fight together, right? That is the fighting game community, honestly. So let's fight together. Let's promote each other. Let's make sure we support all the other games. Let's end this bickering of your game is bad, my game is good. Because again, look, let people enjoy their fighting games, man. Let them enjoy the fighting games that they want. That's it. So, but that's all I have to say, I guess, about Evo 2023 directly. I'll be going on to all of the rest of the games here one by one. I'm not sure yet. We'll figure out how I'm going to split them all into their own videos probably and such. But for this one, this is just the Evo 2023 summary here. So again, I hope you guys enjoyed this. Please like and subscribe on YouTube. And if you want to support me here on Twitch, please sub, because I would appreciate that very much as well. Help keep me afloat and help support me as well. But again, fighting games are something so great. And remember, Tokido said fighting games are something so great, right? He didn't name one franchise. He said fighting games. And that's the most important thing. So hashtag let's fight together for sure. And thank you for tuning in. And of course, the day that this podcast has graced your ears was the most important day of your life. But for me,
it was Tuesday.